Hello guys, this is Aqua coming back with you with some new content. And I want to discuss the current state of the meta right now as far as PvP goes. And when I speak of PvP, I talk about one PvP type. I play a lot of 1v1 rank, so that's the PvP I talk about. I also play 3x3 and some 2x2, but for the most part, I play rank. You can see here that Mr. Bean got ahead of me. Oh my gosh, Mr. Bean, you son of a blank. All right, sorry. Bean keeps surpassing me. I don't know how, but we'll talk about Bean for a second. I'll just show you why the current state of the meta is the way it is. Notice the character that he has. For some reason, Bill Riser is one of the defining meta characters right now in the game. And he's not even the best, but he is a defining character in the meta. Notice also that he has your boy John Connor and Terminator and Lance. And we'll start there. So when you look at my team, I'm just going to take her out because I've been practicing with her. This is the basic setup for the meta right now. John Connor is a staple character in the meta. I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. And so is Terminator. I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. Because they release S characters. Teamy said they released S characters every month. So you get at least one S character every month. And we already got Glenn. So at the end of this next month, which is February, we'll get a new S character. And as far as I'm concerned, from the way it looks right now, Glenn challenges the meta somewhat, but for the most part, I don't think she changes much of anything. I think these three characters will stay at the top of the meta, but until we get a really ground-shaking character. I don't see that happening with Glenn. So for the most part, this is one meta team, and this is what it looks like. The reason John Connor is so good is he has such a massive level of DPS. His attacks deal so much damage, and he has so much movement, it's hard to really pin him down. And if you don't pin him down, he tears you apart. I mean, I'm not the best John Connor player. Like when I match up John Connor versus John Connor, most of the times I lose. But that's okay because I'm a better metal Bill Riser player. And usually everybody goes first to their John Connor. And when my John Connor gets killed, I just come back and kill with Bill. Bill's good because he has high survivability and high fire output. And his missiles are designed to catch moving characters as they jump around you. I think the best character I play in PvP is Bill. And that's why I'm kind of worried that he may fall out. Out of these three characters, he's most likely to fall out of the meta. As far as Terminator goes, I think he's a long staple because he gets the SS class upgrade later on. And his skills are really handy because he can maneuver around the field and play a close-up game and a long-range game. And when he's on his bike, he gets faster movement. I mean, you can't totally rip a character apart like John Connor. And he can't survive as long as Bill, but he can do both really well. His DPS is good, and he's able to last long on the field. There's a lot of really good Terminator players out there, and they're actually better than me. But I'm trying to level up my Terminator gameplay. I really am. But this isn't the only team that's meta. So let me take out Bill, and let me put in Quint. Quint is another staple in the meta. And I don't see that changing for a while because Quint has a good skill set and his survivability is obnoxious. Because when you lower him down to a certain HP level, he just gains a little bit of HP back. And in certain situations, that can be all the difference. And when he switches into rage mode, his bombs deal so much damage. I'm so sick of Quint. He's like the worst character to deal with, along with John Connor. He's a really tough character to deal with. And all right, it's late. I don't see that changing. I don't see Quint going anywhere unless they have like a groundbreaking character. Because Quint's pretty good. Um, I'll talk about Glenn later with Quint. Another character that's picking up steam is Vera. Vera's actually good in PvP, but you actually have to pump up her star level. So if you win elite with Vera, you should play her in PvP because once she goes elite, she becomes really good, even more so than other characters that go elite. I think if you make Bill go elite, he's pretty awesome. All characters are awesome, but it's kind of more necessary for Vera to go elite than other characters. And if not going elite, at least have enough stars in her that her HP goes up because her survivability is trash. But she's really good. And I might start trying to use her again to see if I can switch up my team. But I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Another mention is Lance. Lance used to be ultra meta, but he's not ultra meta anymore. But he's still meta if you like max out his star level and upgrade his skins. Because I played like characters who beat me with Lance. And it's kind of ridiculous what happens to Lance when he gets awakened. He becomes a total different character because his Iron Fist actually can hit you when you're on top of him. If he Iron Fists you and you're on another level, it actually can stun you, which I think is kind of unfair. It should be nerfed, but I mean, it is awakened. People spend money for that. So that's something to consider. And then his skins actually increase the range of his Iron Fist. Like the Witch skin awakened Iron Lance is like, he's really meta. If you awaken your Lance Bean and give him his skin, he's just as strong as John Connor and Terminator and Bill. And I can attest to that because I've lost to a lot of awakened Iron Lance Beans in Witch outfit. This is kind of strange. Even awakened Lance Bean and his other evil form, evil skin, actually gets extreme height and range of his Iron Fist, which makes him lethal. So basic Iron Lance is not so meta, but upgraded Iron Lance is still meta, which is weird. Another character that I will mention that is actually decent in PvP still is Lucia. She's not as good as she used to be, but if you give her her skins and raise up her star level and play a good game, she's actually really solid. Not as good as she used to be, but still solid. Awaken Bull is actually solid too. If you awaken your Bull, he's actually pretty solid. I see some players in Supernova 1 to Ultimate Champion use him, so he's good. So is this guy. Since people have awakened him already, I've even awakened mine. His stats are higher and his survivability is good. He's not as great as other characters, but he still like holds his own in PvP if you have the right weapons. Pandora's good if you get her skin and you awaken her. She's really strong. But some of these characters have to be awakened to be good. And I just don't feel like I should dump resources into Aurora. I just don't like her playstyle. She's really good though, but I just don't like her playstyle. Another one who's actually solid is Riona. She's actually decent without awakening. You just have to play a good game with her, but she's decent. And the last person I'll talk about is the newest character. I think Lane may make a splash in the meta, but it's hard because I see her being a good counter to Quint. I think she counters Quint well. I think that she's actually not as good of a counter to John Connor in 1v1. She counters John Connor better in 3v3 more than 1v1. Because in 1v1, John Connor only has to worry about one opponent. As in 3v3, you can toss out your dragon missiles and distract him while he's dealing with other people, and then you can kill John Connor. But in 1v1, she does well enough, but not well enough to actually say that Connor is no longer meta. She can't do that to John Connor. I think John Connor's the strongest PvP character in the game. But she has potential, and I play better with her than John Connor. That's why I'm trying to use her in PvP. But I don't think she's like gonna like change the meta as much. Kind of like Vera. Vera came out and she didn't change the meta much at all. And the problem with this is John Connor and Terminator came out earlier in America than they did in China. So they're kind of like OP. But last but not least, I'll talk about weapons real quick and I'll end the video. PvP, as PvP weapons go, I think any any AK rifle is good. I just have a level 5 golden M4A1 and I got an awakening on it. That's why I use it. The M4A1 Roaring Thunder is actually better. If I get 4 stars on the M4A1 Roaring Thunder, I will switch weapons because it is a SS weapon and the stats are just higher. I actually have a golden AK rifle, but Awaken, but the golden M4A1 has more stars in it. Shadow Inferno Cannon is a staple in the meta, and I don't see that changing for a while. I think it's still a solid weapon. Golden Crusher is really good. Golden Crusher still, but I just don't know how to play well with it. I have to practice using it. Golden Gatling's good as well. It's an extremely good weapon as well, but I like the Golden M4A1 because I have more stars in it. Ice Ace is actually good in certain strategies. It's a good weapon. Out of the cannons, I still think Shadow Inferno Cannon is the best. People have been using the Dragon Cannon, which is really good, but I don't have access to that because I don't have that much money. And let me see another weapon that's extremely good. For budget option, Burst Inferno Cannon is really good. Even in higher level gameplay, I see it being used. So is the M4A1 Crimson, which is really good when you awaken it. Golden Crusher Rocket Launcher is good too when you awaken it. Energy Cannon is good as well. Just not as popular as the 3 I just mentioned in the purple range. And I don't see any other weapon being used. Plasma Thrower is used on Terminator because it's a really good weapon for a Terminator because when he sits on his motorcycle, he does more damage. And some people use L7 laser rifle to hit Terminator pretty much. And that's it. I think the meta right now is like super competitive. But for the long run, if there's a long-term investment, I think you should invest in his Terminator because he gets this SS level and he becomes incredible after that. I haven't seen that John Connor gets a SS, but I will check into that. I'll check in to see who all gets SS awakenings, but I know for certain that Terminator gets one. So that's it, guys. Be safe. Like, share, subscribe. I'm coming out with more content. Have a safe day. Laters.